Good evening and welcome to our second edition of UBC News Tonight on this second day of November 2023. I'm Loreen Masika Kazimoto. Now we start off this newscast with our first headlining story this evening. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has today
during the commission
Chike Tropical Fruits Limited extraction and refinery plant situated in Kakoge, Nakasongola district. The factory deals in fruit processing. We have details on this report.
During the commissioning, the president thanked Mr. Francis Mugabe, the proprietor of the factory, and his family for joining Uganda's fight against poverty.
So I really want to congratulate njagala kwebaza Olivia, njagala kwebaza ne Francis. Konga Francis naye kirabeka alina gaali bindi ezitunula bulungi kubanga yatandikira mu kusaka ebiguniya.
President Museveni told the audience that for years now he has been advising Ugandans to get involved in commercial agriculture, but with calculations.
And we told you that if you have got 4 acres now, in 1 acre, put coffee, colonel coffee. In the 2nd acre, put fruits, fruits. In the 2nd acre, put fruits. Which fruits? Oranges, mangoes, or pineapples. That was 95.
President Museveni also donated a Fuso truck to the fruit farmers in Greater Luweero to help them transport the agricultural produce. The Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Matia Kasaija, thanked the proprietor of Chike Tropical Fruits Limited for joining the crusade of industrialization and offering jobs to the Ugandan youth.
We are putting on the market, as far as jobs are concerned, 700,000 youth, and normally we are creating between 300 to 400 new jobs. So where do we take those younger people? So Francis, you definitely, I would also, when you expand, I would also encourage you to increase on the job facilities so that these youth who are coming from educational institutions, they get a job and they become stable and they become post-full.
The Minister of State for Investment and Privatization, Evelyn Anite, described Chike Tropical Fruits Limited as a unique factory because it's one of the manufacturing plants that came as a result of President Museveni's continuous call to Ugandans to wake up from the sleep.
Good news is, Your Excellency, you've resolved this problem by allowing UDB more capitalization, and therefore I have given assurance, and I want to give the assurance publicly, that the $1 million request that Mr. Kike wants, we will indeed ensure that it is given to him. And this is not because he has asked in your presence, this is because he's a good debtor. Your Excellency, Mr. Kike, for all the banks from whom he has gone to pick a loan, including DFCU, he has paid back their loans.
The proprietor of the factory, Francis Mugabe, thanked President Museveni for honoring their invitation before revealing that the day is a special one for him. Chike Tropical Fruits and fellow traders in Greater Luweero, who have supported him for the last 20 years of doing business.
In the local market, while our pineapple pulp had high demand in the European market and other export market. Your Excellency, right now Kike is exporting its pineapple concentrate to the EU market. Our products have been tested and they meet the required standards of the EU market, and that's why we are exporting. Let me conclude by thanking you and the government for putting in place policies and programs that favor agro-industrialization, import substitution, job creation, wealth creation to promote socio-economic transformation among our people.
Due to increased demand for the factory's products, Mugabe informed the president that he had acquired a loan from the Uganda Development Bank, UDB, to upscale and expand the capacity.
We need your advice. Ng'omuzadde, ng'omukulembeze, otukwatireko. Tulabe nti ne apples zaffe ziri mu Uganda. We can add value to them and we substitute the importation.
Established in 2019, the state-of-the-art plant has the processing capacity of 1,000 metric tons of fresh fruits each season and supports more than 1,000 farmers of mangoes, pineapples and passion fruits from the districts of Greater Luweero, Greater Masaka, West Nile, Northern and Bukedi sub-regions in Uganda.
We do celebrate a milestone in
President Yoweri Museveni has commended the chairman of the Harris International Limited, Yasser Ahmed, for contributing to the development of Uganda's economy. Harris International Limited is one of the leading food and beverage companies in Uganda. It is a proudly Ugandan company, popularly known by its flagship brand name, Riham. Since its inception in 2005, the company has evolved and expanded its portfolio to more than 50 healthy, refreshing and enjoyable products, such as carbonated soft drinks, natural mineral water, fruit juices, malt and energy drinks, and a variety of biscuits and sweets. More than 120 million litres of Harris International Limited's differentiated soft drinks are consumed per annum, while its other products are enjoyed by thousands of customers in Uganda and across East Africa every day. The president made the remarks while touring the new state-of-the-art manufacturing facility and distribution warehouse of Harris International Limited in Tura, Kawempe.
UNBS and our very own, I think, address the management chairman.
Bagenda kwetwala mu erije mugenda mu bikeesa kubanga erina kaseero sebaka ku consumer tax ogwo musolo gwokubiri pay as you earn eyo ne tuvaayo.
Yes, Your Excellency, we just want to show you that we have fulfilled what we have committed to you in 2017. And this is the witness, what you can see here in Tula. The total investment for what you can see here is almost $100 million US. We are employing. Since 2017, our workers number was 1,380. Now is 2,000 workers directly and 5,000 indirectly. I have made a commitment in Kawempe in 2017 that I'm going to target 150 billion shilling in tax revenue. And I wanted to let you know that in 2022 we have achieved that.
Economy. We knew that Uganda had big potential, not only for the 3 C's and the 3 T's, but for many other things. That's how, for instance, we have transformed Uganda into a big dairy producing country. Very soon we shall overtake many of the countries in the world which produce milk and milk products, then beef, then maize. Maize was not a commercial crop. They have been frustrated. The fruits have been rotting on the roadside. But now, Yasser has linked us with the internal market and the regional market. Eventually, we want to be linked with the external market because it is bigger. So therefore, I thank you and congratulate you. You go and tell all the Lebanese to come here.
Leading telecommunication company MTN Uganda Limited has become the latest to rally behind Busoga Kingdom ahead of the royal wedding. Sheraton Hotel Kampala was the venue at which the telecom giants announced a contribution towards the November 18th, 2023 royal wedding.
The time when every Ugandan has joined hands to promote the Busoga culture. We thank you and thank you very much. We thank you for your prayers. We thank you for your contribution. Now, we are going to have pre-events, and they are going to be in 14 different places in Busoga. Our happiness will be delivered by Nile Breweries. Our communication will be delivered by MTN as our major sponsors.
As the days wind down towards one of the most eagerly awaited ceremonies in Busoga, telecom giants MTN have announced its contribution to the royal wedding.
So for us as MTN, it is a great privilege to be able to announce this afternoon our contribution to the upcoming royal wedding, which is set to take place on November 18. This event marks a significant milestone in the history of the Busoga Kingdom, and we are proud to be part of this historic occasion. As our contribution to this event, we will be making a contribution of 250 million shillings, which will make this day, which we hope will make this day even more special.
Slated for November 18, 2023, the royal wedding of the Chabazinga William Gabrana Diope and the Queen Consort Jovia Mutesi is symbolic and is awaited far and beyond the Busoga region.
Resources have come through companies. Our major sponsors happen to be MTN and Nile Breweries. Those are our major sponsors. But there is a bigger sponsor, the one who stands on the hill, who has been the president of the Republic of this country. We want to thank him. We want to thank all the political parties that have contributed.
The glamorous occasion that is expected to draw people from all walks of life will be at Christ Cathedral, Bugembe.
Representatives from African staff colleges and military institutions of higher learning are currently deliberating on the recommendations from the 16th Chief Instructors Workshop. These recommendations are aimed at enhancing the capacity of militaries in Africa with a focus on integrating religious literacy into the curriculums. Now, the conference was opened by the Minister of State for Defense, Jacob Oboth, and we have the details.
African Conference of Commandants was held in Kampala with several senior officers from other African countries embracing it.
And we are having the following colleges, staff colleges attending the conference: Angola, Botswana, Republic of Congo, Republic of Egypt, Republic of Ghana, Libya, Republic of Malawi, Republic of South Africa, United Republic of Tanzania, Republic of Uganda, Republic of Zambia, and the Republic of Zimbabwe. These same countries also attended the Chief Instructors Conference.
This conference serves as a platform for African staff colleges and military institutions of higher learning to meet and lay the groundwork for harmonization of policies that inform and enhance military standards in Africa.
This is because African countries are getting more involved in peace support operations as a result of constant conflicts amongst our communities. Therefore, it is vital that our training syllabi take cognizance of the need to embrace teaching of peace support operations in our staff colleges and other military institutions of higher learning.
The event also provides an opportunity to reflect on the successes achieved within the organization, including the harmonization of curriculum among staff colleges in Africa.
A good number of us have fully subscribed up to date. It is through these generous contributions that we were able to have our webpage rejuvenated and functional. Suffice it to mention that the tremendous cooperation and support by all members during the period under review is an indication for our commitment to move this continent's staff colleges to greater heights.
Recommendations from the 16th Chief Instructors Workshop were discussed and are pending adoption. These recommendations include the inclusion of religious literacy and ethics in the training syllabus to enhance the conduct of troops, establishing a harmonized approach for similar threats with standardized procedures, and reviewing and customizing training to suit African conflict situations.
Maybe the only policy one is to do with the DS exchange and student exchange. Those we cannot deal with them at this fora because they involve a number of other players outside our control. But the remainder are purely operational, and we can deal with those without asking for any input from anyone.
The conference is being held under the theme Aligning Peace Support Operations Training to Contemporary Security Scenarios in Africa. Ivan Kahwa and Dan Lugemwa, UBC News in Kampala.
The 9 people accused in kidnapping and murdering Susan Magara want court to stay or nullify the proceedings of the trial on allegations that they were tortured during and after arrest. The accused alleged to be tortured by security operatives while at Mbuya, thus forcing them to confess to have committed the offences against them during the recording of a charge and caution statements at Chira police stations. We have the details.
Of the case, where 9 people are accused of the murder and kidnap of Susan Magara, the accused Yusuf Lubega informed court of being tortured by the prosecution witness Frank Anyakairu.
Nafuna ukosefu kuchukua chino ngwechiti omulamuzi. Namugomu gwange nabone kufuna ukosefu sichasobola kusiba kintu kiweza kilo 10. Nawalizibwa okukkiriza mbone nemokufa. That I was forced to accept.
The allegations of the accused has been supported by an application to court by lawyers of the accused in the case before Judge Alex Ajij.
Section 4 of the Human Rights Enforcement Act 2019 provides for enforcement of rights and freedoms by this honorable court. Specifically, Section 8 of the same Act provides for staying the proceedings. My Lord, the evidence of torture originated from the time of arrest to the time of being produced in court.
Lawyer Kumbuga contends that the accused were severely tortured by security operatives. With the revelations of torture, the lawyers appealed to court to nullify the proceedings.
My Lord, this application seeks to stop quash of the current proceedings, wherein it provides that it criminalizes the violation of fundamental human rights and requires court to nullify the trial if the non-derogable rights, according to Article 24, according to Article 44, non-derogable rights, right to fair hearing and against torture are violated. 44, specifically, the right to fair hearing and the right against torture.
However, trouble rose when the accused's legal team presented to court a non-satisfied document from prisons showing that Judge Jane Francis Abodo had ordered the accused to go for the medical check-up. However, the documents were objected by the prosecution. Judge Alex Ajij set 19th November 2023 to deliver a ruling. The accused in the kidnap and murder of Susan Magara include Lubega Yusuf, Waswa Hussein, Salim Zamil, Chewolya Abubeka, Chisalita Mahad, Kato Hassani Miro, Bukenya Ismail, Buembo Musa Abbas, and Hajaran Nakandi. The accused have been remanded to Luzira Government Prison. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
The International War Crimes Division Court has convicted and sentenced 7 out of the 12 suspects on charges of terrorism, belongings to ADF and rendering support to ADF. The 7 pleaded guilty through a plea bargain agreement with the prosecution, and court sentenced them respectively.
12 people who are accused of aiding, abetting, financing or supporting allied democratic forces have appeared at the International War Crimes Division Court before Judge Susan Okalanyi. However, the 7, Jamal Muwonge, Ibrahim Kavoma, Uthman Mugoya, Lutu Chimuli, Juma Swabra Sechito, Daniel Kaya and Ismail Sewanyana entered a plea of guilty through a pre-bargaining agreement with prosecution. Court first read to them the rules governing pre-bargain. Thereafter, Judge Susan Okalanyi confirmed the charges against them, and they all maintained their plea of guilty, and court convicted them. Prosecution read the brief facts of the charges to the accused, among others, recruiting of people to allied democratic forces, requesting for money, and buying items for allied democratic forces.
The chemicals that were recovered from A1 were submitted for analysis, and these materials were confirmed to be those used in the making of explosives.
After the court convicted and sentenced the 7, respectively.
Chimuli Lutu is convicted on count 6 of belonging to a terrorist organization. I sentence you to imprisonment for 5 years on count 5, count 6 and count 7. Mugoya Usman alias Nawanzu Ibrahim to imprisonment for 2 years on counts 6 and 7.
Among those who preferred for pre-bargaining agreement was Juma Swabra Sechito, aged 74 years, and Iwan Sewanyana Ismail, who trafficked his 4 children, to join allied democratic forces in 2017.
How to reject your plea bargain? You Sewanyana. You are supposed to educate your children. You are supposed to protect your children. You are supposed to raise them up to become adults who make decisions for themselves. And you've ruined them. That is why I almost rejected your plea.
Sewanyana is responsible now. Sewanyana is remorseful, and above all, Sewanyana is apologetic. Whatever happened, it was not because of Sewanyana's will. He was initiated in this, he was forced into this.
However, Sulaiman Ismail Seboa, Ismail Semfuka, Andrew Kawes, Ahmed Sebofu, and Mariam Kasuja did not prefer pre-bargaining process. They now wait trial.
Of course, plea bargain understanding or negotiations are individual, even when you are thousands on the charge sheet or on the indictment. Now, these 5, we still believe that they are still innocent, and we are sure that we shall proceed with their case.
The charges against the accused carry maximum penalty of death sentence upon conviction. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
The head of Kisugu High School, One Kasolo Celestin, has been charged and remanded to Luzira Prison on charges of denying 6 of his S4 students UNAB examinations. The case before Makindye Magistrates Court, Kasolo pleaded not guilty to all the charges.
Clementine Kasolo, aged 48 years, the head teacher of Kisugu High School and a resident of Chibuli in Makindye Division, has appeared before Makindye Magistrates Court to take plea over the charges that led to his arrest. Before Magistrate Iga Adiru, Clementine Kasolo was charged with 12 counts that included denying 6 of his students' UNAB examination, among others, which he pleaded not guilty to.
Musango number 11 bakugira okuziiza omuntu omu okubeera nga akola ebibuuzo oba ng'atuka mu kifo ky'alina okubeeramu ebibuuzo. Kigambibwa nti genda kusoma ezaali 26 mwezi gwa 10 Kisugu High School Makindye mu Kampala District. Wakugira oba waziiza Onyango Kelvin okubeera ng'atuuka.
Kasolo emisango gyonna agyeganye era omuwaabi wa gavumenti Carol Opia n'ategeeza ng'okunoonyereza.
Among the papers the students missed include biology and agriculture. The students were affected include Daniel Ochom, Robert Ojambo, Sadiq Muhammad, Onyango Calvin, Nicholas Orionzi, and Simon Peter Mandiko.
Kasolo.
Prosecution led by Carol Opio informed court that the inquiries into the matter are complete and asked court for the hearing date. Magistrate Adilu remanded Kasolo to Ruzila Government Prison until 7th November 2023, when the accused will appear for bail. Clementina Kasolo committed the alleged offences on 26 October 2023 at Kisugu High School, situated in Entebbe. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
The Director for Basic and Secondary Education in the Ministry of Education, Ismail Mulindwa, has praised CODAD, a Dutch international non-governmental organization, for supporting the enhancement of quality primary education services and governance in Kamuli District. Mulindwa commended CODAD during the closure of the performance-based financing project in Kamuli District, which supported 50 schools in delivering high-quality primary education.
The Director for Basic and Secondary Education in the Ministry of Education, Ismail Mulindwa, has expressed his commitment to advocate with the government and other stakeholders to adopt performance-based financing in Uganda's education system.
We have tried to go on ground and the results speak for themselves. There's a good change in terms of motivating those who are in charge, right from the local government to school level. A teacher in Kamuli is somehow different. He has a different perception when you compare him with a Busia teacher.
Ismail Mulindwa emphasized the need for financial incentives to motivate teachers and other educational staff, which can lead to improved performance and attendance, benefiting the entire education system. He also emphasized that education is a shared responsibility, not only between the government and its various agencies, but also with other stakeholders.
RBF, it has motivated teachers to perform even beyond their capacity. And we are yet, by the way, very soon I think we shall be able to see the results, and I want to believe they will be right on the wall.
In a meeting in Kampala, education stakeholders convened to discuss strategies and plans for scaling up the performance-based financing education project in primary education. The District Education Officer, Kamuli District, Joseph Waibi, emphasized the importance of an output-based approach, focusing on achieving results and fostering self-driven responsibility among all involved parties.
I think I would love to see continuing, specifically now, is to see CODAID not working out, but CODAID getting a new strategy. For example, we are saying there are more girls than boys. The consultant said, but how sure are we they complete? But I'm also wondering, why are we looking at those alone? What about the other boys cutting sugar canes?
He highlighted the significance of record keeping, punctuality and regularity in ensuring the success of the education system. The Executive Director of CODAID, Helen van der Beek, explained that they selected Kamuli District due to the prevalence of children staying at home, contribute to their family's income rather than attending school. She encouraged government support and budget allocation for the sustainability of result-based financing in education.
Both systems and structures need to be in place. The hardware needs to be there, but the software also needs to be there. And I think if we all work together on both the hardware and the software and pooling our resources together from each their own different capacity, the ministry, the parliament. I was very happy with the parliamentarians being here today, really advocating for that investment in education.
The head teacher Nawansaso Primary School in Kamuli, Jessica Mchala, noted that teachers have been motivated through incentives, particularly for tasks like lesson planning, punctuality, and maintaining a conducive classroom environment under the performance-based financing project.
So right now, there is a reduction in our school dropouts and absenteeism through enrolling and retaining children into the school. That's by organizing school clubs.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
In quest to upscale knowledge and enforcement of protection of standards in public health and environment against counterfeit and substandard products, Uganda National Bureau of Standards has rolled out an essay writing competition targeting Uganda University students. Now, the Senior Public Relations Officer, Uganda National Bureau of Standards, Victoria Namutebi, highlighted this while meeting Magara University Guild leadership.
UNBS University Essay Competition is hinged on the need to instill consumer protection awareness and inculcate products quality knowledge amongst the young generation.
And today we are at Magara University to sensitize people about standards, and we are doing this through a competition, an essay writing competition, because when these students write down, then you get to know what they have learned and what they now know that they didn't know before about standards, about consumer protection. The competition is for all universities, okay? All universities in Uganda, as long as your university is recognized by the institution of higher learning.
This essay drive targeting university students is premised on promotion of standards in the goods consumed and to bolster literacy in trade fairness.
So the assessment is at different levels. We have the national level, that is Uganda. So the winner within Uganda, the top 5, those essays will be submitted to the regional level, and the top 5 essays from the ESC region will be submitted to the continental level, which is Africa. And then the winner at the Africa level will walk away with $1,000, and they will also have an all expenses paid trip to all the ASO UN General Assembly activities that will be taking place in Nigeria in 2024.
The Magara University Students Guild leadership welcomed this engagement, asserting that this will arm learners with prior knowledge of good standards and cushion them from substandard products that enter the market with no quality checks.
So besides besides the competition that we are going to have and the essays, it's also going to create awareness among people that an organization in Uganda that makes sure consumers in Uganda have the best products have organized this. I think that is why at the end of the day we are having the best essays, because the company in and of itself is making sure we have best products for consumers in Uganda.
Alongside meeting the standardization and interests of the consumer, UNBS has also impacted on the creativity of the students' art of writing.
In the first place, the focus has been put on standardization. But the challenge that is being addressed in this case is the illiteracy about standardization and about quality assurance in this country.
This competition is under the theme, empowering consumers through standardization to achieve rights to safe quality goods and services. Crispus, Arinitwe, UBC News.
The Office of the Resident City Commissioner, Arua City, has stopped elections of a Chamber of Commerce meant to have new leadership in the city. Now, in an election set to have been conducted on Wednesday, 2 parties disagreed on the voters' register, prompting the commercial officer to withdraw from conducting the election.
If the meeting had disagreed like the way it has happened today, we are going to cancel the election.
The Deputy Resident City Commissioner at Arua City Central Division, Ham Ezama, has said there is a need for the Uganda National Chamber of Commerce and the industry to verify voters list that has emerged from the 2 contesting parties.
The Electoral Commission, who is the commercial officer, says is not ready to conduct election. Yes. 2, these 2 lists came from the center. We are going to write, as the office of the president, to the office of the Chamber of Commerce to authenticate these two lists. Then select for us a date for another election with the same. I'm going to boycott again.
Some of the irregularities to this disruption emerged from two opposing leadership structures for Arua City Chamber of Commerce after Arua Central Division legislator Jackson Atima continued to serve as chairperson in the city.
Otherwise, I desired so long that the city should have had a very vibrant and very active and useful Chamber of Commerce for our business community. And that is why, by the very fall of the day that we're now in the city, we couldn't wait for somebody to say he is the chairperson of Chamber of Commerce in 3 districts. It is illogical. It is greed displayed in a manner which we cannot accept.
One of the candidates, Caesar Draichabo, emerged as interim chairperson for the city after Atima became MP, making 2 different chamber leaders in the city.
The Secretariat recognized the interim team in Arua City as partners who are doing the right thing by the virtue of them being subscribed members of Chamber of Commerce, constitutional. It is from them that they gave us receipt books.
However, the interim leadership for Draichabo has always been questioned. Jackson Atima quashed claims that there is an interim chamber leadership in the city based on decisions of the chamber secretariat.
Those districts are now separate entities. They are separate districts under Ministry of Local Government. I don't have any jurisdiction to go and begin running their chamber activities when they were well constituted as districts. But what the Annual General Assembly pronounced itself about was the 10 cities, the previous leadership, the Chamber of Commerce of those districts. If now there's Gulu City Chamber, the previous leader of Gulu district was still the substantive chamber leadership. That is what I did here. So some of those guys who are moving, they don't even have briefcase to carry the chamber documents. They put the documents, letters in envelopes. These are guys who move around in sitting on people's verandas. They don't have a business.
According to Jackson Atima, he is still the chairperson for chamber in the city who had prepared to hand over the office to a person who will be voted in as a new chairperson.
Today, if this election was successfully conducted, I was going to hand over chamber. That's why I left Kampala. I came here to see that the elections are conducted in a free and fair manner, and I sit as a paid-up member to support them.
Ronald Debo, director of Rema Engineering Company, is one of the candidates who was surprised to have seen the election being disrupted.
Especially in a cosmopolitan city like Arua, we need a very good environment so that we can transact business, even cross-border business, Congo, Sudan, and all that. We have been looking forward to have a vibrant chamber. If you go to other regions, chamber is doing tremendous things. But for us here, we're always quarreling. So I said, no, let me first offer myself. I thought the chaos would still end. But today, what was meant to be a simple thing, some people had to think around until they caused the chaos. And I'm happy our team remained calm. It is very interesting, it is very laughable.
In respect to being a loyal member of the Chamber of Commerce, Ronald had submitted his gold subscription fees on both sides of the disagreeing chamber leadership. Joseph Odama, UBC News.
Commissioner of Emergency Medical Services at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Wanyaye Nambohe, has emphasized the need for specialized nurses in emergency care and in the healthcare sector. Dr. Wambohe made these remarks at the commissioning of a 100-capacity dormitory at St. Michael's Lubaga Hospital Training Institute, donated by Malteser International.
with a 100-capacity dormitory for girls following the increased number of nursing students. The newly constructed facility allows nursing students to focus on their training without concerns about commuting or living in an insecure environment.
Appreciate Malteser International, which has worked with IBS to construct this eco-friendly building, which is one of the first ones in the country. This is the third building constructed here at Lubaga Hospital Training School, and we appreciate because its carbon emission is at zero, and we have had the rooms about 100 for the nurse students.
Dr. Wanyaye Nambohe, Commissioner of Emergency Medical Services, highlighted a significant gap in specialized emergency nursing in the country with only a small number of specialists. He called on training institutions to offer specialized courses for nurses because the capacity to train such is being developed, with the means of health providing the necessary support to the means of education.
The need for nurses is very big. 80% of the service delivery in health is made by the nurses. And nurses are of different grades, and you will find that there are general nurses, there are specialized nurses, but in emergency care, the emergency nurses become very critical in service provision.
The German ambassador to Uganda says the collaboration between Malteser International and Lubaga Hospital is contributing to healthcare services and education in Uganda. He praised the positive image of Ugandan nurses and encouraged them to keep it up.
You will have the best possibilities to be here, to learn, to do your duties, to do your night shifts, and then don't have to go out at night through the streets, but you can go home in safety and security.
Representing the Archbishop of Kampala, Monsignor Charles Kasivante, highlighted the importance of the new dormitory in making life easier for the students and facilitating their activities on the school grounds.
For quite some time, this training school has been here, but there was no hostel for girls. They were still living within the hospital premises. And now it is a great joy to have this structure completed so that a portion of the girls who are studying for nursing and midwifery and other programs within this training school are going to be moved into here.
The board chair, St. Michael Lubaga Training Institute, Dr. Cecilia Nawavu, underscored the importance of the new infrastructure and the collaborative efforts that have made it possible. She expressed the desire to have all facilities on the school grounds for administrative and security reasons, but also to improve the quality of training.
Right now we have over 800 students, and the infrastructure development is one of the strategies we have, because with good infrastructure it adds value to the quality of training of our students, such that we eventually get that quality healthcare provider to serve the nation.
But the girls also had a very big problem that as we initiated this campus, part of the school remained in the hospital. So the girl child is more protected because have to move daily from the hospital, which is something like a distance.
The girls' hostel symbolizes a step towards infrastructure development and female empowerment. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Uganda has stressed the need for developed countries to honor their pledge and commitment to its financing for climate change programs like adaptation and mitigation. The First Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East Africa Community Affairs, Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga, says time is now for developed countries to walk the talk of financing environmental restoration programs, as well as empowering least developed countries to cope with climate change.
You're most welcome.
About 13 years ago, during the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change of Parties in Mexico, developed country parties committed to collectively start mobilizing funds worth $100 billion per annum by 2020. However, 3 years past the deadline, the pledge seems unattainable as developed country parties remain tight-lipped on the matter. As the world gears up for the 28th Conference of Parties starting this November, Uganda has reminded developed countries that are party to this commitment to act.
We are still insisting on the issue of adaptation and mitigation and loss and damage. Those are things we want to see delivered, and also the $100 billion that was pledged to these developed countries, which has never been brought. We want it now. This time there should be a serious commitment and delivery on that issue.
Uganda, like other least developed countries, continues to suffer some of the worst effects of climate change, despite having the least footprint as regards to greenhouse emissions. Beatrice Anywa, the State Minister for Environment at the Line Ministry, says with a strong political will evidenced in her acts and policies, Uganda remains determined to reverse effects of climate change.
I think Uganda, we are the only country, first of all, we have already, I think there are 3 other countries which have, first of all, the Climate Change Committee that fast tracks the effect of climate change in the country. And now we have a Climate Change Act in place.
Also at the conference, Uganda intends to push for the operationalization of the already set up Climate Financing Fund, but with an amendment on how the same can be accessed. Margaret Athieno Mwebesa, the Commissioner Climate Change, reveals that through the 3 blocks that Uganda belongs, they want to have the climate funds released to least developed countries in form of grants, but not loans.
We are already overburdened with debts. Why should we now go and get debts too? To clean up the air which somebody else has spoiled.
Meanwhile, unlike in the previous years where she participated as an observer, Uganda has this time round secured a pavilion, a platform that offers enormous opportunities for the nation to showcase her rich natural resources endowment that continues to position her as a powerful tourism destination.
There are people who hear about Uganda and they don't know about Uganda. So this is an opportunity for those who have never traveled to Uganda to see what Uganda has, Uganda looks like, what are the issues, what are the challenges, and we can also secure support and collaboration during those meetings.
The 28th Conference of Parties, also referred to as COP28, to be hosted in the United Arab Emirates, targets to fast-track the energy transition and slash emissions before 2030 to limit global warming. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we return with more stories.
Jovia! Ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu. Nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agataziizibwa. Amaanyi okulabibwa n'okuwulirwa mu mawanga ageewala ennyo. Okutuuka buli wamu nga yadde togenzeeyo. Ensi yonna ng'ekuli mu ngalo. Okutambula mu biseera n'okumanya buli kimu ekirina okumanyibwa. Jovia, kino kye kirabo kyange gy'oli.
Tewali kumuko ki ky'osobola okukola ku mukutu nnandameggwa ogwa MTN.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
Are you passionate about a healthy living and wealth generation for your household? Learn how you can easily tap wealth and health from Mother Nature using science and technology. Omukenkufu Nyanzi Julius Echuma Chiwagala Chuma has written a knowledge-packed book, Money Grows on Trees, Sente Zimera Committee. Grab your copy today at 20,000 shillings only at Prof Bio Research Equatorial Mall, Aristoc Booklex branches, Acacia Mall, Garden City, Kampala Road, and Jumia, Uganda. Or call 0703 152 152 for deliveries. Remember, Money Grows on Trees, Sente Zimera Committee book is autographed by Omukenkufu Nyanzi Julius himself.
Lagos.
Wena mulamu.
Wena kambona ku.
Otyo. Mbakemye rubona. Mubaire muri kolati.
Ndide kulagira ono ngeri jiba kwayo kumbaga ya mwene. Ngwako isamo mope.
Eisimu eriwa je buliko.
Tola yesimu wena. Nakobya ironi geisimu tobulira.
Eisimu yini.
Niga sita ndala mukaga 5 sita 3 otewe ashi onige yes. Balese chawo.
Balese merchant code je balisaba. Mama kadi bati.
Kayo buzono wachi tamu ensanvu ensanvu mirundi 3.
Balisaba.
Tamu esente dewe.
Amount. Baleta mobile money.
Mobile money.
Balikunsa bapini.
Ebucha utampiniyo.
Iwa imwe sasula
aye baba embaga ya mwene mwekuoniza
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Welcome back from that break. And now onto the business scene. Women business owners in Uganda face several gender-specific barriers to enterprise performance and development, including lower levels of innovation, inadequate capital and labor, and segregation into lower value sectors. The women under the umbrella of Women's Leadership and Financial Inclusion Project are tasking government to come up with a uniform interest rate for women in business as a way to motivate them to stay in business.
Percent of the Ugandan labor force and are therefore an important pool of potential talent to help the country meet its development goals. However, women face more serious hurdles in starting, managing and growing their enterprises than men do. The Women's Leadership and Financial Inclusion Project members have been following up on women in different business engagements and are now requesting government for a fund to act as collateral to women in business.
Where people don't have collateral, let's have a fund that will be a fallback to these financial institutions that are going to be used to disburse money. Otherwise, we will still be going into circles.
The country director, New Faces, New Voices, Dr. Topistantali says that her organization under the umbrella of the Women's Leadership and Financial Inclusion Project was forced to convene a meeting of women stakeholders to harmonize the different opportunities in private sector and financial institutions.
What we are saying is there is a problem on the receiving side and there is a problem on the
giving side. And as middle people, we are going to make sure without being partisan, yeah, that is very, very important, that when financial institutions are looking for women to give money, we have prepared them.
She is appealing to financial institutions to come up with a uniformity on interest rate charge on women loans.
My appeal to government, and I'm going to continue saying it, please, we are looking for a single-digit interest rate for women. We cannot continue to say 15, 20, 40. Real, it's strangling businesses.
The head of credit appraisal and publicity under the agriculture credit schemes of Bank of Uganda, Sarah Nantongo Mubuke, says the women should take advantage of the subsidized loan facilities to persons involved in agriculture investments.
The opportunities are there because we have several people who have accessed these funds, and the funds are subsidized. The interest rate for the SCF is at 12% per annum, with a maximum loan period of 8 years, minimum loan period of 6 months. There is a maximum grace period of 3 years, and when we look at the Small Business Recovery Fund, we see that people can access up to a maximum of 200 million, or a maximum loan period of 4 years.
Nantongo refuted allegations that there are variations in lending rates by the Bank of Uganda monitored commercial banks on agriculture financing.
The uniform rate is actually there because the interest rate under the agricultural credit facility is capped at a maximum of 12% per annum, fixed throughout the loan period. The interest rate for the Small Business Recovery Fund is capped at 10% per annum, fixed throughout the loan period. So when you talk about uniformity, the uniformity is there, and when we receive the applications at Bank of Uganda, we ascertain whether the intended interest rate is what was approved.
One of Uganda's successful women entrepreneurs, Donna Masolo, says the world of work is full of challenges of youth with no technical experience and increasingly filled in the job market where employers need quality output.
So there's a whole lane of people saying, oh, we can't find jobs, there are no jobs, please find me a job. It's a mess. Somebody somewhere has to come up with the solution of how do I match these unemployed people to be suitable to the people that the businesses are looking for.
The head of strategy and partnerships at New Faces, New Voices Women Leadership and Financial Inclusion Project, Esther Senoga, says that the platform has been able to expose women to development programs across the country.
And the community of practice is a platform on which entrepreneurs will come to seek knowledge, support from fellow entrepreneurs, but also to acquire knowledge from the different policymakers.
Sudat Kaye and Douglas Setumba, UBC News.
Now, despite government's continuous support towards the development of the transport and logistics industry in the country, the sector is still hampered by the lack of export specification, expensive infrastructure and limited finance investments. Now, this was revealed at the second National Logistics Dialogue in Kampala on the theme Unlocking Export Logistics, Financing and Subsidization.
Transport and logistics sector is inefficient and costs the country 3 trillion Uganda shillings annually. This is attributed to the limited access to finance investment, lack of export specification, and the shortage of infrastructure that supports exports.
Every effort has been mainly put on imports and pivot, other than how best we can improve the products that are locally made and therefore can access the export market. What does this suggest? This suggests that right from policy, from the ministry that takes the bureau and other respective agencies of quality, they are thinking about what we are bringing from outside and almost giving a very lip service on things that we are going to take.
But we forget that the market we have outside of Uganda is not your kamu-kamu. These are large supermarket chains. These are large logistics chains. These are large market chains. So you need consolidators.
To promote trade and export growth across all sectors of the economy, public and private stakeholders have been urged to invest in improving the infrastructure network and domestic supply chains.
Competence and quality is the fourth of logistics services. What is the competence and quality of our logistics services? Our agents trained, our transporters of quality, cargo handlers, do we have those that are trained? Are they of quality? Do they meet global or international standards?
Can we look at our import infrastructure? Then we factor in the component of how can we utilize the same import infrastructure, the same roads that drive these containers to Kenya, and then they are put on the shipping line. It's the same infrastructure that we can use also to go back.
According to experts, unlocking financing for exports will enable an increase in export volumes, improve the country's trade balance, and facilitate economic growth.
Look at what other countries do to promote their exports. Very favorable tax regimes, very affordable finance regimes, very consolidated missions on anything that needs to be promoted for external market.
The second National Logistics Dialogue was on the theme Unlocking Export Logistics Financing and Subsidization. Charlotte Amoge and Juma Samba for UBC News.
And with that, UBC News Tonight has come to an end. Thank you so much for your company. Do enjoy much more of UBC's programming. I'm Lorraine Masika Kazimoto. Good night.
Inspiring Uganda.
The Property Line. Everything real estate, construction, class, and luxury.
Real estate, it's land and developments on land.
We are now, as a country, in an auto-drive mode with respect to real estate.
We have a deficit in housing of more than 2 million units.
For the real estate, when you have income, I want you to contribute something.
Don't miss The Property Line every Saturday 7:30 p.m. and Monday 11 a.m. only on UBC TV. Inspiring Uganda.
UBC is the national public broadcaster. We educate, inform, entertain, and inspire our audiences. You can watch us on free-to-air channel 001, DSTV channel 282, GoTV channel 371, Star Times channel 201, Zuku TV channel 20, and Azam TV channel 350. Even when your subscription expires, you can still watch UBC for free on your pay TV platforms.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Hello, my
people out there watching Power Flavor Magazine. I'm so happy to be here yet another day to bring you another beautiful show. This week has been kind of a little bit slow, but we are going to take you through and entertain you a bit, make you laugh. So just sit down, relax, and enjoy the show. So right now, I want to bring you a little bit of Tugende Muchikade. Let's go back to the old chants. Old school. So we have the Tugende Muchikade that is happening again. This is a press conference right here on the show for you on Power Flavor Magazine. MTN has been celebrating music, celebrating culture, and they are back with Tugende Muchikade to celebrate more music for you. Take a look at the press conference and see what took place as you get your shoes, your dancing shoes on and ready to party at the Kampala Serena Hotel.
You say we're three or Magara, you be diabetes. We know you are right here today. We thank you so much for the endorsement and blessing of this great concert that we're going to have with the greatest musicians ever. Bless everybody in this place today. Let this day be a blessing to the people who are going to read and hear about it. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
The main aim of this project was to appreciate, remember, and recognize all the legendary artists of Uganda, as well as appreciating Ugandan music. Madam Queen Florence, Miss Mavis Dagire, MTN, Mama Chikade, Mr. Kyukaye, Hajat Sophie Nantogo, and Mami Phoebe Nasolo.
As Patrick mentioned, Tugende Muchikade is a concept that was started in 2017, and our partnership started then. It has become a tradition, taking music and enabling the oldies or the music categorized under Tugende Muchikade to bring it out to the fans, to the customers, to the public. Tugende Muchikade is not just an event, it's a celebration of our deep-rooted commitment to the Ugandan music. For the past 25 years, we've continually supported and promoted incredible artists and artistic talent that our nation has to offer. This concert is a testament to our unwavering dedication. To the fans out there, you don't have to wait for the concert on 2nd December. In a way or the other, all you have to do is dial *170 *86# and download the caller tune. This year we've had Tugende Muchikade Magara, Tugende Muchikade Masaka, and this edition is for Kampala. All the artists that performed on all those concerts, when you dial *170 *86#, you'll be able to get their content. When you download this quality, you're not only supporting MTN Uganda, but you're also supporting your favorite artist. Through this, they're able to earn something for themselves. So we call upon all the customers, all the fans for Tugende Muchikade, start with these artists by downloading a caller tune for them. Entertaining callers, let's forget the boring, it's good to call and you're dancing to some music or you're singing to some music. It's quite interesting. So as earlier mentioned, this concert is on the 2nd of December. And also as MTN Uganda through mobile money, whoever pays through MomoPay, the first 500 tickets bought have a discount of 20,000, meaning MTN Uganda will be topping up the 20K for each of you, whoever will purchase through mobile money. My colleague Jonathan will throw more highlight on that. To our fellow artists, to the artists, thank you so much for being on board. Thank you so much for entrusting us with your content. As we work together, our motto as MTN Uganda is together we are unstoppable. So you don't have to worry about you entrusting us with your content. giving us your mercy. When we do this together, we are unstoppable at the end of it all.
Enaku z'omwezi liri ogw'ekumi kyengenda okukola nsuubira nti nkimanyi n'ogenda kukiraba.
Obubaka bw'onyinza okuba wakati wano tetulinawo mboozi ndala yonna. Emboozi eriwo ya kikadde nga bbiri ki December.
Thank you so much for being here today. I'm very, very honored. Mr. Team Leader. Mr. Team Leader, that's what he signifies. Mwami Team Leader, neyazanira timu mwaba kugundozaako mbeere ku kikadde olunaku lwa December nga bbiri December nga nkyamuseka timuwulira ebigambo ebimpitamu.
We have a very huge lineup. Tulinawo abayimbi bataano for today, but on the D-Day, tulina omukyala Mariam Ndagire.
The press conference was held on the 19th of October at